Hi, everybody. It's Miss Rose. We learned about supplementary angles and complementary angles. Now we're going to learn about vertical angles, which are two opposite angles that are formed by intersecting lines. So anytime that you see a diagram that has an X kind of shape in it, be on the lookout for vertical angles. So what do we know about vertical angles? Well, we don't know anything yet, but we're going to find out soon. We're going to use what we know about supplementary angles. This one right next to the 103 angles is supplementary to 103. So 180 minus 103 is 77. Well, this angle here is supplementary with 77. So if we do 180 minus 77, what do you think we're going to get? We end up getting 103. We end up back where we started. So that is the relationship between vertical angles. They always end up being congruent to each other because they're both supplementary to the same angle. So I don't even need to do any calculations to find this last angle here, because if this angle is 77, its vertical angle is going to be 77 as well. So let's take what we just learned and see if we can do another problem even faster. 48 degrees. First thing that I find is its vertical angle. 48. You get one for free. Then I'm going to find the supplement of 48 degrees. 180 minus 48. Let me use my calculator to make sure that I am accurate. And my answer is 132 degrees. So this one's 132, and then I can use my vertical angles to get one for free. Another 132. So be on the lookout for vertical angles because they're going to save you a lot of time and calculations because they're just congruent to each other. Sometimes in a more complicated diagram, it's hard to tell which angles are vertical with which. So notice that if I highlight those two lines, the 78 degree angle is vertical angles with B. So what is the 52 degree angle vertical angles with? Well, it looks like it's this one over here that's not labeled, 52. And then I still need to do some calculating with 180 to find out what's left over for this one here. So I'm going to do 78 plus 52. Let's add those up and see what it equals. It's 130. And then I want to see what's left over from 180 degrees because these three put together make up a straight angle. So I am left over with 50 degrees. And then good news, I get A for free. So A is 50 degrees, B is 78 degrees. What is this going to look like with algebra? Well, you have to look closely and decide if the angles that I give you are vertical angles or if they're supplementary angles. These two are vertical angles, so good news, they are congruent to each other. So I'm just going to take 6x plus 5 and set it equal to 10x minus 31. And then I'm going to do my quick solving. I like to start with the smaller x's and subtract those from both sides. Then I like to add 31 to both sides. 4x equals 36, and 36 divided by 4 is 9. So that's my x. Then it says I need to find the measure of angle ABD. So that's actually this one, not one of the ones that has an expression. What I need to do, though, is I need to plug 9 into one of these other angles, and then ABD is supplementary to it. So I can do 6 times 9 is 54, plus 5 is 59 degrees. And then in order to find angle ABD, I have to do 180 minus 59, which is 121. So the measure of angle ABD is 121 degrees. But I used the equation that I did because the two DBC and ABE were vertical angles. All right, let's check out another algebra problem. Do we have vertical angles here this time? No, we have supplementary angles. So this time we do not set them equal to each other. They add up to 180 degrees. So I'm going to add up 8x plus 13 and 4x plus 29 and set it equal to 180. So we really have to think closely for each example about what equation we're setting up. Let's combine our like terms. There's 12 x's, and then 13 and 29 is 42. And then I want to get x by itself, so I'm going to do minus 42. And that gives me 138. So let's divide that by 12. I don't know if it's divisible or not. It is not, but that's okay. You get 11.5 for your x. Let's see which one we have to substitute it back into. It says angle ABD. So I'm going to substitute it back in there. 8 times 11.5 plus 13. 8 times 11.5 plus 13 on my calculator is 105 degrees. So the measure of angle ABD is 105. All right, one last problem here. We're going to practice looking at a complicated diagram and identifying what angles are supplementary angles or vertical angles. So JKP, that's this one. All right, we want to find an angle that's supplementary to it. So if two angles are supplementary, they make up a straight angle. So I'm going to look at this one right next to it. Supplementary angles always overlap at a segment. So notice that KP is a segment in both of those angles. So JKP is supplementary with angle LKP. There is another possible answer also that you might have gotten instead, which would be JKD. That also makes a straight angle, but I only asked you to pick one. All right, then we want our vertical angles. So remember, vertical angles come from two intersecting lines. We're looking for an X. So I have JKP. I want the angle opposite it. JKP goes with angle DKL. Notice for both of these, the middle letter is the same as the original, the vertex. Especially vertical angles, they share a vertex. So you need to make sure that those middle letters match up. Otherwise, you know that you did something wrong. All right, let me know what questions you have, and we should be ready to start the homework.